So cancel culture has been a big thing affecting marketers. People's inboxes are flooded. Increasing number of emails go to spam, go to promotions tab, go to whatever other tabs people have out there. iOS has even introduced privacy, so people can't even see exactly who's opening their emails anymore. So a metric that people had relied on for a long time has changed. Obviously, the privacy account, the privacy updates that Apple have introduced have changed online advertising as we know it. That is a trend that's going to continue. A lot of people getting their Facebook ad accounts, Instagram accounts blocked or banned, sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for no reason, but at the end of the day, it still affects the business. Ad costs are skyrocketing with the proliferation and number of people online. Organic reach on all the major social platforms is diminishing as people are, attention span is, all over the place, and there is just a flood of people going online. Not to mention Zoom fatigue. So I think everyone's done with that. And it seems like everybody and their neighbour's cat is starting an online business. I'm sure you've seen that. So unfortunately, the online business space has somewhat become the domain of a lot of, seemingly multi-level marketing type people, kind of very meta, teaching people to teach people to teach people to, make money and market themselves. So that is not what marketing is about. If you thought that's what marketing is, it isn't. However, a couple of the other things that we have to contend with as marketers is the number of tech, solutions that are changing the landscape on a daily or weekly basis, from, savvy ways to shortcut on copywriting and graphic design and all the rest. These things are good, but when they become commoditized, it raises the bar for everybody and the standard goes higher. And final two things that people have, I feel have really affected the way people need to do marketing this year is compassion fatigue, because there have been so many global events, so many local events that have, not to mention, lockdown and pandemic, but even cultural and societal things that have, tugged on people's heartstrings, that have inspired them to take action. But as a result, a lot of people are having that compassion fatigue. And all of those things above that I've just mentioned in the last couple of minutes are contributing to online fatigue. And there is going to be a really big consequence for that moving into next year, which I've started to see inklings of at the moment. I work with a lot of people in the online and digital business space, a lot of people in the marketing space, many of whom are very, very successful and well-known names that have built entire empires out of social media. And what I'm seeing is that a lot of people are actually choosing to pack up and leave and switch off in droves. So what that means is, initially when I started seeing that kind of 3 to 6 months ago, I started thinking maybe it was more like a digital detox kind of thing where people were just giving it a break. But I'm actually seeing people almost shut the door and say, you know what, put a stake in the ground. I am no longer doing social media. That's a trend that I've started to see, and I do think that that is going to happen more and more next year, where as people become overloaded with all of these different things that I've mentioned, the personal effect is going to be just to shut down and switch off and focus on the things that matter. And a lot of that is not going to fall into the category of consuming, maybe well-intentioned marketing information online. So what's a marketer to do? What's a marketer to do when it seems like half of social media is, in 2022 potentially going to go offline? On the one hand, we have people dialing down their attention and their appetite for what's on social media. But on the other hand, we have a flood of new people entering the marketplace, not as consumers, but as creators and as people who are promoting something, trying to sell themselves, trying to market themselves, promote something. And what is that going to do to the already crowded market space? It's going to mean it's harder to get heard. it's harder to get seen using what has been basically like the golden era of social media marketing, getting a message out there quickly for the last 10 years.